Hello everyone, Josh from DC2000 here, and today I've got another video for you all on DC Future State Gotham Issue 2. Yeah, it has been 3 weeks and we're back again with the continuation. In all honesty, the art bugged me more this issue. I don't know why. This one felt a lot less stylized and a lot more like cheaping out. Honestly, I'm debating whether I want to scan these 2 comics in and have a play around, seeing if I could maybe put some colour on there. I mean, I'm not a professional colorist, but you know, like, just as an experiment, you know, if I do that, I might put it up on my community tab so you guys can see, you know, might have a try, might have a go, give it the old college try. Yeah, anyway, Gotham Future State Issue 2. Well, we finally find out who it is in the alleyway. It's Bruce Wayne! It's bloody Batman! To be honest, I don't know what we were expecting. Of course it was Bruce. Like... And, you know, it's nice seeing them actually working together on something for once without throwing fists at each other. I will get to that later when I talk about Urban Legend. There's something that bugs me about one of the issues in Urban Legend. Yeah, so we now know that Jason is working with Bruce and they're working to take down the Magistrate. And the Resistance doesn't know because the Resistance still thinks Bruce is dead. They still think the Magistrate killed Bruce. And we learn this in Jason's confrontation with the Magistrate. We also learn that this does in fact take place after Robin Eternal, because Jason does mention it to Tim. He says, I hear you're immortal now. So yeah, some of the things that I thought was gonna... Some of the things I was talking about and predicting, yeah, figures. I must admit, Dick is like... I wasn't expecting Dick to be that hostile. I was not expecting Nightwing to be that horrible to his own brother. I mean, like, they've had some spats, they've had some issues, but like, man... Some of those comments, I was feeling they're a little over the line. Jeez Louise, man. And I think it says something when even Jason, of all people, is saying to Bruce that, look, you know, I can't keep doing this, you know, I can't keep lying to him. Like, they absolutely hate my guts. Like, you weren't hearing the things they were saying. Like, I mean, come on, Jason is used to getting shit from members of the Bat family. He's used to being yelled at and called a disappointment and all that. You know, he's used to it. But, you know, to have it coming from all of them at once, you know, that's... You can see why the guy's fed up, to be honest. Interestingly, it is noted that Jason allows them to escape. The Magistrate shows up. He basically says to them, get lost, stay out my way. I've got work to do, I need to find this new Batman. The first thing he does is he goes to... Well, not the first thing, because it's right at the end of the issue. This one felt shorter as well. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it was just I read through this one quicker than the last one, but it did feel considerably shorter. Jason goes to Blackgate Penitentiary and he wants to talk to the Arkham Knight, which is this new character that was introduced in Detective Comics. And, you know, she's also been a part of Future State. She had a backup story in one of the books. I believe it was The Next Batman she had a backup story in. Yeah, and basically when he does that, him and the next Batman end up fighting, but as that happens, all the doors unlock in the prison cells and like everyone comes out. And next issue, it's basically going to be them fighting their way out of that... It's basically going to be him and the next Batman fighting out of Blackgate Penitentiary. So yeah, it's... Honestly, this one felt shorter than I was expecting, and I'm a little bit disappointed because I was hoping for a little bit more. I'm happy we now know who the guy in the alleyway is. Still got some other questions that I will want answered, but you know, for reference, please watch the first video that I did, well, the last video that I did for Comic Book Carnage, which was talking about the first issue of this. You know, I did lay out kind of several things I want them to address and cover. One of which was a flashback explaining how Jason and Rose joined the Magistrate. And it looks partly like Bruce asked him to join the Magistrate, and, you know, because he wanted a mole on the inside to help him take it down. It's part of this big plan Bruce has to bring down the Magistrate. And I also think that implies that Bruce survived Dark Detective as well, I think. Because if any of you have read Dark Detective, you know how that ends. I'm not going to spoil that for those that haven't read that yet. But it is one of those where, I don't know, I wish there was a little bit more to this one, to be honest. I don't know, like, we're getting little bits and pieces each time, and like I say, I don't know how long Gotham Future State is going to be. So, it could be quite long. It could take place over multiple issues, you know, like, it could be an ongoing, I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, you know, like, how they get out of the situation they're currently in, what's going to unfold between him and the next Batman next issue. I also have a feeling we're probably going to see Rose again at some point in this series. Because you keep seeing her kind of like in his thoughts, you know, you keep getting bits where like characters will mention you keep getting bits where characters will mention something, and then like you'll kind of see kind of like a drawing of her in the background, you know, kind of implying that, you know, his thoughts are dwelling on her because of something that's been said. An interesting point about that was Dick was talking about Jason's skill set and his skill set. And we had one of these moments where Rose was drawn kind of off in the distance, kind of faded out, kind of ghost-like in a way, where, like, you know, he's thinking about it. Which makes sense, because in Pre-52, Rose was partially trained by Dick, so, you know, like, he's thinking about that. Is it because he's thinking, like, you know, she's got similar training? I don't know. I'd rather the character would actually show up as opposed to being like, oh, he's dwelling on her again, you know, like, it kind of like that. It's kind of bugging, because it's a bit like, you know, come on. I mean, I get the feeling she could potentially be an antagonist if she's working for the Magistrate, and she likes working for the Magistrate. Which, you know, I got the vibe she didn't hate her work, unlike Jason. So, potential antagonist, perhaps, for future issues. That could be interesting. But then again, pretty much in Future State with Jason, pretty much everybody's an antagonist. Like, because flipping everybody hates him at the moment. Like, which, I don't know, I kind of like that in a way, the fact that he has no real friends, he can only really rely on himself at the moment. Which, you know, I kind of like that aspect. It kind of takes it back to the kind of like the lone wolf kind of side of the character that we haven't seen since New 52. I do kind of like that. There's some stuff about this book that I'm like, there's some stuff about the idea of him in Future State that I really enjoy. You know, like the whole lone wolf kind of insider, kind of like can't trust anybody because I'm working to take it down on the inside. I kind of like that. That's clever. It's very similar to what Scott tried to do in the first story arc of Rebirth. So yeah, I know, it's an idea that's been done before, and I enjoyed it there too as well. I'll be fair to Scott, I enjoyed that one. Like, you know, give him crap a lot, but I will agree I enjoyed that one. And, you know, the basic story to this I'm enjoying, but I just kind of, I don't know, the whole mystery around who actually detonated that bomb and that, I kind of hope it isn't the second Batman, you know, like, well, the next Batman rather. Because it's kind of like, well, it's kind of crap if that's the case, you know, like, you know, I want to know who's done that, and, you know, that's obviously going to be the big whodunit of the story. But, you know, I just kind of wish that, I don't know, I think at times that they're treating the audience like they're stupid a bit. Because it's a bit like, oh, it's the next Batman that's done this. And it's like, well, of course he didn't do that. Like, what do you think we are, dense? Like, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about this one, honestly, because there's some stuff I like and some stuff I'm not so keen on. But honestly, I think the first issue of this story was better than this, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. I definitely hope it runs a little bit longer than stuff like Second Son, which I'm pretty sure is only 4 issues. Because the way they're writing this, they're going to need a little bit longer than 4 issues, because they're on a bit of a go slow, unfortunately. And I think part of it is because they've got a secondary story in it, which is just like, the page count the whole thing with the secondary stories was a novel idea, but it's a bit like, come on guys, just, you know, just commit, like, you know, have certain books, you know, like Nightwing. As far as I know, Nightwing still doesn't have a secondary story, so, you know, can we have stuff like Gotham Future State that doesn't have secondary stories and just is the, you know, the main story that you buy the book for, you know, like, I don't know, it was an alright idea in Future State, but they're kind of a bit fed up of it now. The bit's done, you know, I just wish the pages, you know, well, I just wish the page counts of the book were dedicated to the story you actually buy the book for, as opposed to these add-on stories that they're giving you. And, like, you know, half the time they're for characters that I'm not overly keen on. Like, I mean, like, Dark Detective was pretty good actually, because the 2 stories for Dark Detective were things that people would be interested in. Like, you know, it's like the Red Hood one was on there, and it's like, you know, a Batman fan is likely going to be interested in what Red Hood's doing, you know, like, because he's a member of the Bat family. I mean, not all Batman fans, but, you know, most, you know, you'd assume that people would enjoy that. And, you know, you also have Grifter as well, which is a character that's appeared in Batman recently, and, you know, he's not a boring character. You know, I wasn't as fussed about the Grifter story, honestly, but it was good. You know, Huntress appeared in it, which is another Bat family member from back in Pre-52. I'm not sure if she's officially a Bat family member in New 52 and Rebirth. I'm not too sure. But anyway, I'm rambling. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Mixed feelings on this one, but yeah, I'd still pick it up. It's part of the overall story. Just see where Future State is going. I'll see you all in the next one, and have a good day.